What's up, you guys? It's your favorite cutie Mel back again on my self-help channel to give you guys yet another video, and today we are talking about finances. I have some great news to share with you guys. You might have been already to know what I'm talking about by the title, but either way, I'm still going to talk to you guys about my decisions, why I made the decisions now, and some tips for anyone who is in a similar position and kind of wants to do what I did, or is looking for something to do with their money. If you've been able to save and accumulate a lot of money, everybody knows that money loses value over time if you just put it in a savings account. So you want to make sure that you're moving your money into places where it's going to grow, and sometimes that comes with risk. But anyways, so first of all, please give me a thumbs up for this video and sharing, my personal information with you guys. Not too much personal information, but enough, to help someone else. Give me a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and become a recurring cutie. On this channel, we talk about business, we talk about life, we talk about love, we talk about any and everything that we want to. And if you just enjoy the vibes, then you just want to be here every single time. So also don't forget to click that bell notification so that you guys can see when I post every single time. I try to post at least 3 times a week, and I usually do, so 3 to 4 times a week, sometimes 5 if I'm feeling saucy. So yeah, let's get to it. Anyways, so I wanted to make the announcement today because the money actually withdrew from my account today because of the holiday. Not everything was taken out yesterday, but I think it was on Indigenous Day, I decided to go ahead and pay off my student loans, and I decided to invest in my first index fund. I did that because, well, first let's talk about the school loan. So me personally, I only had about $3,000 left on my school loans, and that's really not a lot. It was about 2,700 and something like that. That's really not a lot compared to a lot of people. A lot of people have way more student loans than I've had, but I felt like now is a good time to kind of just pay off the student loans, because I think mine is through Fed Loan or whatever. Fed Loan, I know for sure, they took off the interest until the end of the year, and basically so my loans weren't growing bigger and bigger each month because they weren't paid off because of the virus. So I was like, you know what, I have the money to pay for this. And because part of me, the reason why I haven't paid it off was, 1, because I didn't have the money to, 2, because I was like, well, because my debt is so low, eventually, even if I'm only paying $25 a month, eventually it'll get to the point to where the loans were almost gone. So, and it was, because I think I started paying consistently about a little over a year ago, because before that I was not paying any attention to my credit. I didn't care about my credit. I wasn't paying anything off. I was just letting my credit go to shit, basically, because I didn't have any money to pay for anything. So I was like, I don't need that bad energy in my life. I don't need that negative energy. So it's just like, fuck it. But once I started to realize, and put together a plan for myself, because if you guys don't know, right now I'm still staying home with my mom and I live with my family, which I'm very thankful that I'm able to do. And basically I plan to, once I leave here, never have to live with anyone again, which is why I am not going to rush the process of me moving out, even though I could probably easily move out right now. There were a few things that I wanted to get in place, and one thing was my credit. So I significantly raised my credit. If you guys see, a few months back, I did a video about me finally getting my credit score over 700. So and then another thing that was on my goals list and has been on my list for a long time was not being in debt. I wanted to get out of debt, completely debt free, because I feel like it's just so much easier to accumulate wealth when you don't have to worry about having debt on your back. Because truly, in my mind, even if I was doing really well and I was getting a lot of money, I wanted to treat myself to something nice, maybe give me some designer items or whatever, which I typically don't really do. But I was just like, you know what, if I wanted to treat myself to those things, I wouldn't, because I felt guilty about the fact that, how could I just go ahead and splurge $1,000, $2,000 on this, but then here I am, I still have debt that I could have easily paid off. Just trying to make it make sense for the long term, because it's just like, it's okay to treat yourself, and it's okay to go ahead and blow a bag on yourself, whatever, if you can, comfortably, because I wasn't when I couldn't. period. Like, it's okay to do those things, but I feel like you also kind of have to keep your long-term self in mind. Like, and you also have to keep in mind that things change. So, you know, if you have a business like me and you're an entrepreneur, period, and you have like different entrepreneurial things going on, like, if anything, the virus has shown me that you can have different months. So it's like, all right, so I was going this part of the year and things were going well, but then say something like the virus happens again, for some reason we have to stop what we're doing and we can't continue certain things, then, you know, I would have a significant change in the way that I'm able to acquire money. And in the beginning, it probably would take a toll, you know, on me, because, you know, one of my businesses is, you know, I do event coordinations and I throw markets for entrepreneurs. So, you know, I have just recently been able to start that back up because of, you know, the regulations in California is, you know, you can do certain things outside. So, but before that, that had completely knocked out everything that I was doing with my passion fruits, and that affected my income. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be prepared for the worst, which is why I was like, while I have the money and while things are going well and while I have pretty much all of my incomes up and running, I'm going to go ahead and just take the sacrifice, take the hit, and just pay this $3,000. I'm going to pay it, because then after that, I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's going to hugely boost my credit score, because that's just a whole nother loan that's just completely knocked out. I already knocked out all of the small things that were on my credit over the years, and I've just been taking as I can approach to it. So the first thing that I did was attack the small things that I had, like the small outstanding balances. And like I told you guys, if you're looking to fix your credit, make sure that you call the creditors first, because by the time it hits the collectors, the money is not even going to the original debtor anymore. So basically, if you have an outstanding balance with Verizon, for instance, that money is no longer going to Verizon, because the bill collectors have paid Verizon to take on the debt so that they can basically get the money from you, tax you, and, you know, etc. So basically, if you call them ahead of time, you can negotiate. So plenty of the things that I had were maybe like if it was $500 and more, or even over $100, you can negotiate them down fairly low and just knock it out one thing at a time. And if you can't do one thing a month, try to do one thing every 2 months, like, you know, until you can really just get yourself in a good standing. Because a lot of us in the African American community don't have like really good financial literacy. So it's not until we need to get a car, it's not until we need to get an apartment, that you start thinking about, whoa, like I have shit on my credit. And people get credit cards and just start using them like it's free money. Then before you know it, you have freaking debt, you know, that's going to be with you. And some people, you know, that it just becomes too much. Like, you know, it snowballs. The interest rate goes up, it goes up, it goes up, and then you just like, man, you feel overwhelmed. That was a whole nother tangent. But so that's what I did for myself. So I'm super excited about that. I feel very good. And then another thing was, I just told you guys that I was doing my thermage, and my thermage was about the same price. It was about $2,700 something dollars. So I was just like, I can't go and just pay for something like that, which is something that I could definitely probably wait for, and then just sit up here and act like I don't have a whole student loans, like just looking at me every single time I look at my Credit Karma. So it's just like that. And then the next thing is, you know, I want to just continue, now that I got pretty much everything out of my system that I feel like I want to pay for now. I mean, of course I'm going to treat myself here and there, but typically I'm a very frugal person. Like, I don't deny myself of nice things. So, and I will definitely spend money on experiences. So if me and my friends have a trip that we want to go on, I'll spend my money on that. I'll spend my money on things here and there. But even then, I'm just not someone who splurges. Like, even if I have the money, I'm that person who still does afterpay. So I just like to, you know, it's just how I am, and there's nothing wrong with that. I still treat myself to nice things, but it's just a way that I delegate my money, so that, you know, I have to have a certain amount in my account, a certain bottom line for me to even do that. Like, for me to even save up the money that I had to even do all this, I let it get way above. If I can't do it 3, 4, 5 times, I'm not doing it. So, and that's another reason why I didn't pay off my freaking credit. So next, I decided to invest in my first index fund. I say my first because it will not be my last. Typically people who get index funds kind of diversify. So index funds are just different funds that mirror different markets over time, and typically it beats out individual stock market choices like by a long shot. So I was like, everybody knows, or you should know, that compound interest is a thing. So you need to make sure that if you're going to do something like investing, the more time you have to invest, the more time that your money has to mature, the better. So I was like, you know what? Now is the time. And it's been really on my mind because I'm just like, when am I going to do it? When am I going to do it? And I kept telling myself I have to save this much amount of money first before I do that. And I reached that amount and I was just like, okay, I need to stop procrastinating, and I need to just do it. And one thing that helped me to do it is, technically, you know, you're not really losing money. You're not even spending money. You're investing money. So it's still yours. Like, you know, the dollar amount is still yours. So it's just for you later. And it's making sure that you don't lose value. So typically, I'm hoping that by next year, I'm able to at least put $10,000 a year towards investments and towards like index funds, and, you know, just putting money into the index funds that I already have, so that my money can really get in there and start growing, because I am also an investor. I currently have a Robinhood and I have a pretty nice balance in there, and I continue to invest in my investments. And recently what's been becoming important to me is, you know, I was talking to another friend who does investing, and my babe, he invests, and it's important for me to start buying dividend stocks. So dividend stocks are the ones that basically pay you quarterly, and you just get money. They pay you for investing in their business, essentially. And I think that's what I'm going to do more. My next strategy is probably going to be to, over time, kind of divest from some of the other things. I mean, the things that are doing really well, that are stocks, even if they are not dividend paying, I probably will keep my money invested in. But things that are kind of just like so-so and just maintaining, or, you know, over time I haven't really seen much growth, I probably will divest from those stocks and then just save that money to put into my index fund, because I'm more of a passive investor anyway. I'm not someone who wants or does like check the market every single day, like, you know, and I don't do that because it's just, I look at it at least once a week, but I'm not someone who heavily follows like the market like that. So for me, passive is better. I'd rather just put my money in an index fund and just let it grow over time, let that compound interest hit it, and then when I'm older, you know, I'll just go ahead and retire off of the money that I am putting towards myself now. And this is something that I want to talk about, because not only because it's an accomplishment, but I'm a creative person and I'm an entrepreneur, and I feel like you have to think about yourself, not just now but later. So if you're someone who plans to not have a job, you don't have a 401k to, you know, fall back on, you have to start thinking about your future self now. So I'm pretty much going to end this video here because it's getting to that point to about the 15-minute mark soon. So you guys, if you enjoyed this video and you have any questions about what it is I did or anything that I talked about today, go ahead and leave them down below. Or if you just want to leave me a congratulations for paying off my school loans, really appreciate that. And I will see you guys in the next video. As always, stay cute and stay posh. Bye.